You're listening to World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world. And here are your hosts, Aingeal Rose and Ahonu.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of our study of the Book of Manifesting, which we are turning into a little, what we originally called 6-week online course. But as it turns out, because each of the chapters are more comprehensive than the way we've been delivering it, it might end up being 8 or 9 different sessions, different weeks, perhaps, if you want to run it on a weekly basis. But it'll probably be 9 episodes in total, and we are now on episode number 5. So in the past session, we covered the process of change, how to manifest your desires, when to take action. And in this session today, we're going to cover symbolism in your everyday life. We're going to talk about being specific, and then we're going to write out your desires. So let's start with the symbolism in your everyday life. In this chapter, I promised you I would teach you about symbolism in your everyday life and how it can help you consciously realize that your desires are manifesting exactly as you have created them. If you're interested in increasing your daily awareness of the symbolism in your everyday life and how it relates to what you are creating beneath the level of your conscious awareness, this chapter is for you. Symbolism is the direct result of the association we have been speaking about throughout this book. It is how you, as an individual, interpret what you've been taught or what you have experienced, including the emotional and mental impact and the conclusions that you've come to. Conclusions become concepts. Conclusions become concepts. Concepts are defined as an idea of something formed by mentally combining all its characteristics or particulars, thus making a construct. In other words, when we apply meaning to something, we also create a concept in our minds. We also now have a symbol that represents that concept. For example, let's say you had an unpleasant experience with a boss who was male. He was uncaring and unfair. He didn't listen to advice or take your concerns to heart. He may even have been abusive, wanting you to work long hours above and beyond the call of duty. You would have come to a conclusion about this boss. You may see him as an unreasonable man, a slave driver, even a tyrant. You may even fear him. And this concept you may have created in your mind from the experience could be ideas such as bosses are unfair tyrants, male bosses are abusive and uncaring, all bosses are slave drivers, work is a struggle, I hate bosses, I hate working for someone else, and so on and so on. These new concepts now have a symbol. It is the man who is your boss. In fact, it could now be anyone who is a boss. And what this means to your subconscious is that anytime you encounter a boss, you will have a negative association with them and therefore a negative expectation. Oftentimes, this is what you will manifest for yourself because this is the program your subconscious has running. Let's take the opposite approach. Let's say you have a boss who's awesome. He or she is kind, generous, fair, rewarding, a good listener, and someone who takes suggestions from employees to heart. The concept you will create is that bosses are wonderful, positive, and support your personal growth and your self-esteem. Bosses will now become a positive symbol for you. You will expect positive encounters from bosses in the future. Now we're going to talk about the symbolism of dreams. You could say the way you create with your thoughts and decisions is much like the process of dreaming. Your dream world is a collection of symbolic representations of your consciousness. When you dream, your consciousness is acting out its different perceptions and associations of your days, weeks, and other events. Much the same is true in the experiences of your 3D world. Your 3D landscape could also be considered a dreamscape. It is the culmination of your perceptions, learnings, opinions, and choices. It is the level where these things materialize. Therefore, everything you see has a symbolic meaning to you. The language of symbolism can be literal. Names, places, events all tell a story about where you are on all four levels: emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual. They're all reflections of what you believe to be true. Consciousness reflects your story out on the 3D landscape of your life. As it is being displayed externally, you can modify or change the scene by being aware of the content of that reflection. You can ask what your present reflections symbolize for you. What do they mean to you as a belief or a concept? Symbols are interesting because one image can contain a lot of information. Whether I'm teaching people how to read the tarot or how to interpret their dreams or look at the dreamscape of their lives, the principles are the same. With the tarot, for example, each card is a symbolic picture that allows the reader to fall into it and become sensitive to its message. The pictures on the cards stimulate a person to have feelings, thoughts, or insights. Now, as an aside, we know this to be true also from ancient Egyptian symbols, for example, and also Celtic symbolism. In dream interpretation, you realize that everything in the dream is yourself, and you ask what each thing means to you in the sequence it occurs in the dream. It doesn't matter what you're dreaming about because it's all about you. Beaches, water, sun, other people, airplanes, etc. are all you. When you ask yourself what each part of the dream means to you, you will reveal its message. It's always your subconscious talking to you. And the same is true in your 3D waking life. It's a dreamscape where your consciousness is expressing itself through the people, places, experiences, and things in your life. Your days are symbols of your consciousness. What you react to, for positive or negative, tells you what is okay with you and what is not. These are what many people refer to as triggers. And that could be politics, it could be relationships. Whatever triggers you, you know then that is symbolizing to you what is okay or what is not. Your subconscious and inner self provides you a language which shows you what you are manifesting and what may need to change. That language is the movie that your everyday life acts out. So here's how to do it. Write down the events of your day in your workbook and take a look at them. This is also a good exercise to keep your memory sharp. You can then look at the meaning of the events as you perceive them. There are no particular meaning of events. It's your own perception that gives your life symbolic meanings. This practice will give you a good assessment of your life. You will see that your life is a story you are making up. You will see that once you get used to doing this, you are creating and you can then change the storyline as you desire. Remember though, you can't manipulate another person in the story. You can change the quality of your life and thereby the qualities of those you'd like in it. You also need to be willing to be the change you desire to experience. Here are two stories that show how symbolism can be recognized in your 3D life. A couple I know recently bought an old house as an investment. It needed fixing up before they could resell it. And one of the problems was the floor had settled from age. How do we settle as we age? and it was uneven, unbalanced in places. The floor was stable, just uneven. As the husband was jacking up the supporting beam under the house, the cinder blocks disintegrated. No one should make a foundation on cinder, wouldn't you agree? Being a conscious creator, the husband knew that symbolically he was being shown that the foundation needed something much stronger than it had been built on in the past, as in the foundation of his life, his wife's life, their future, etc. So both consciously decided to be responsible for creating a stronger foundation in every way that was needed. As the week progressed, they were out looking for other real estate and saw a lumberyard. They stopped to see what could be used as a stronger support for underneath their existing house. The husband would have been content with a thick piece of pine, but the workman said, "No, I have just the thing, and it is no charge." He proceeded to bring out 2 thick pieces of oak. Obviously, the positive forces at work were offering a different choice. Oak instead of pine, oak being a harder wood and a much stronger support. This is an example of the universe and the subconscious working together. Hearing the new request for a stronger foundation from the couple, they laughed at the symbolism of this because they were twin flames who had twin oak trees as the symbol for their relationship. Here's another example. Another investor couple I know had the opportunity to buy an old historic house that needed a lot of work. There was no kitchen or heating system. If the house were brought back to its original glory, it would be worth a lot of money and they would enjoy restoring it. In this case, the house symbolized the husband wanting to recover and restore something from his past that he had lost. The problem here was that the down payment would have taken all their resources, leaving them with no money for living or repairs. Symbolically, it seemed that the cost for going back and fixing the past would be very high. How necessary was it? The situation was showing the unhealed part of the man and his desire to recover a former life. What were the choices in this situation? After seeing the symbolic implications of the house, the couple decided to let the house go in favor of something more modern, more in the present, and less costly. They realized the futility of hanging on to the past and made a commitment to the now and to a new future. In the universe, either choice would have been okay to make, but one obviously involved more struggle. It was just as easy to say, "No, I want my now and my future to be easier and newer." They soon found another house that served them in their new purpose. The quality of your 3D story is also a symbolic outpicturing of your individual and collective consciousness. Learning to examine what your outpicture or manifestation is showing you is the art of conscious dreaming and the journey of freedom. It gives you the ability to say, "Yes, I accept this version of my reality," or "No, I don't accept this version of my reality. I choose instead ... This must be done with firm and deliberate decision. In actuality, consciousness is free. It is unlimited in its potential. This freedom is the one thing that remains true in every event, every relationship, and in all circumstances. It is molded into form by you. You are running the show of your life, even when it doesn't seem like it. You are the eye that sees, experiences, associates, and decides. If you're looking at your 3D landscape and not liking what you're seeing or creating, it's not too late to make it different. You are still and always in your moment of power, as that is the only place you can be. Your power is operating all the time, whether you're a conscious creator or an unconscious one. Take a look around you now and examine what you see in your reality? What is the content of your daily life? You can do this with your sleeping dreams as well. All are symbols from the subconscious, playing themselves out in the drama of your life. Consider your waking reality as the dreamscape that it is, and have fun exploring your movie and what it means to you. Change what you don't like and instead make it as wonderful as you can imagine. Now let's move into the next chapter. We're looking at the Book of Manifesting by Aingeal. And we're going to talk now about being specific. In the process of redefining your life, it's very important to be specific. The subconscious mind takes everything literally, and the clearer you can be about your desires and intentions, the more exact will be your manifestations. Your subconscious mind does not have the ability to filter your thoughts and beliefs. It does not categorize them into positive thoughts or negative thoughts. It just says yes to whatever you believe and decide. Its job is to multiply your thoughts and beliefs and turn them into creations. This is the reason why I insisted in the early part of this book and this course that you take the time to inquire into your thoughts, your beliefs, your motivations, and your associations so you can uncover the specifics of what you do with your energy. Discovering the reasons why you believe what you do and looking at what you really expect for your future is vital to knowing yourself. You most likely are not used to examining your motivations for why you desire what you do or behave in the ways that you do. Exploring motivations can be revealing because some of them may not be in your best interest. Now that you have looked at where your energy has been going, it's time to redefine and reclaim your energy. When you set about to make a new definition of an old belief or a program, you will need to be specific about exactly what you wish to change and experience. You will be literally giving your subconscious mind a new program, and you want it to be as wonderful as you can possibly imagine. The art of being specific can be challenging if you believe there are exceptions and limitations to what you can achieve. However, you are only limited by your own consciousness. The art of questioning that you have been practicing in this book can be trying at first, even annoying, since you're not used to asking yourself so many questions on so many levels. However, the more you do this and get used to redefining things in your life, the more fun and exciting your life will become. Once you give your imagination free rein without censorship, you will realize how unlimited you can really be. You will realize the only limitations you have are those you believe in. Remember, you don't have to figure out how something can come to you. Allow yourself to make your life to be as different as you like without limitations. It's all up to you. The greater your ability to imagine specific scenarios that are win-win for yourself and for all concerned, the more joyous you will feel. You're getting back in touch with your true power. Now let's look at writing out your desires. And this is the last in this section, but it is comprehensive too. So we're going to give 3 examples of writing out your desires. And first, we will look at the motivation for those desires. And then, secondly, we'll write a new script that is better suited to manifesting them in the fastest possible time. And I know you've been waiting for this particular section, but how do you rewrite that script? This is it. So here's the original desire number 1. I desire my partner to be more romantic. I desire this because I'm feeling neglected and alone. I'm feeling uncertain and insecure about myself and my life right now. I want to be cared for and comforted. I want to know I exist and that I'm really here and that I'm important to someone other than myself. I want to be validated and shown that I'm loved. I'm feeling unloved right now and not very important. My motivation for having these desires is to go into deeper and deeper levels of love from within myself. I feel sad and lonely, and I want to feel different from that. I want to feel joy and happiness instead of sorrow and heartbreak. My motivation is to have an empty part of me filled. I'm feeling desperate fear that I will never feel fulfilled. I want someone to validate me so I won't feel so bad right now. I don't know how to end the fear that I may not ever love myself or love others enough to be fulfilled. I desire someone to fill me with love so that I can feel I have worth and value and that I matter. Now, as you can see from that previous section I just read, it began with a desire for his or her partner to be more romantic. But as he or she wrote, we saw that this desire was based on a sense of needing to experience deeper love and a sense of importance for themselves. They wanted their partner to feel a sense of emptiness within, when the real issue was to love themselves more and to deal with the fear around that. What often happens when you examine beliefs and desires is that the deeper issue underneath a situation surfaces. This is the level that needs to change. The underlying issue is where the real program lies, and this is where you do the reprogramming. So now, let's look at how this person wrote a new script for their subconscious mind. New script. I now see and feel only love in myself and in everything and in everyone. I now treasure myself and all that I am. I am now filled with the love that I am, and I am now happy to have this radiate out to others. I am now love and nurture myself more each day. I now say yes to love in my life. Each day, I now love myself more and more. I am now aware of myself and that I am a human being of love. I now express love for myself and to others. I now allow others to love me and show me my value, and I accept these reflections gladly. I am now shown that I am loved from wonderful and unexpected sources and that I matter. I am now led into my happiest fulfillment, and I now accept this, and so it is. You'll notice that in the new script that they went from a feeling of desperation to one of upliftment and love. Notice also they put the word now in every sentence, bringing the new script into the present moment. By doing this, it makes a declaration of power. The now word tells the subconscious that this is the new program right now, not off in some intangible, distant future. He or she also capitalized every use of I am, as this refers to the I am self, the version of ourselves that's a God being of light. It affirms our highest potential, devoid of any distortions. It is important to get comfortable with these types of power statements to your subconscious because they reaffirm that you are the director of your own programs. So now let's take a look at the original desire number 2. I desire to be perfectly healthy. I desire this because I want to keep living. I want to avoid pain, illness, and death. I want this so I can look beautiful and appeal to others. I also desire this so I can express myself fully by having wonderful energy and get more things done. Being healthy means to me that I have won over the difficulties in my life. It means I'm stronger than the things that would take my life from me. It means I'm in control of myself and that I am the decider of my fate. It means I have a destiny to be alive. It means I am. My motivation for having this desire is to not succumb to death in all its machinations, to be able to love my body without adoring it, to find out how and believe that my body hears me and listens to me, that consciousness is the creator of all conditions, to be beautiful and let my beauty come out, to enjoy my body and appreciate it, to be clean of all decay and disturbance, to be free of negativity, to honor God on every level, and that includes the physical, to overcome the urge to separate and fall prey to unworthiness, to have it be as easy as love. So in that example, the person went from the desire for a healthy body to wanting health for a variety of reasons, some of which I would examine further. For example, the issue of death and getting old, the desire to prove that consciousness runs the body, the desire to feel and express beauty, etc. So here's the new script for desire number 2. I am now a radiant life being in a physical form. I am now a reflection of the divine throughout all nature, and myself expressing as nature. I am now fully able to enjoy my life on all levels, and I celebrate my uniqueness. I am now expressing in human form as God's vitality and joy in every moment. I am now pure life and balance within me. I am now peace of mind and heart. I am now allowing my divinity to express itself throughout my life on every level. I now see, feel, and honor the divinity within all things. I am now corrected and made new by the grace of God. My physical life form pulsates with the rhythm of blessed life. I am now a source for good. I am now innocent. This is true now and always. So you can see the difference in those two scripts. So let's take one more final example. Original desire number 3. I desire a house of my own that I own on beautiful and nourishing land in a safe and secure location. I desire this because I feel I need a place to recover and rest from the world. I desire a safe haven in which to rest, contemplate, and to heal. I desire this so I can create a place where I'm surrounded by love and beauty, where I can grow healthy and vital food and surround myself with nature. Okay. The motivation for this person's desire is to be able to retreat and contemplate God, to bring in more knowledge and be in a peaceful place to do this, to provide a safe space for others to visit, to share beauty and peace with others, to provide nourishment, to grow vegetables, and to express the beauty within. Writing about this desire for their own home led to the realizations of a need to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel nourished and surrounded by love and beauty. It indicated a desire to rest when needed and have healthy food available. It also indicated a deep desire to share this with others. So now let's see what the new script for desire number 3 looks like. I now allow myself to feel at home in the world. I am now welcomed and safe everywhere. I now find God in everything. I am now always cared for and looked after better than I could imagine. I am now able to share God with everyone I meet. I now allow miracles to be my daily experience. I am now always provided for in every way. I am now always protected and shielded from harm. Every experience I now have on this earth is divinely guided and has love as its purpose. I am now loved, welcomed, provided for, and safe. I am now and always surrounded by beauty and comfort. I am now and always one with God's love within me, and I now experience and feel it everywhere. The elements and nature are my friends, and they always keep me safe and look after me. I now nourish them in love and gratitude, and I am now led to my perfect physical dwelling that I call home, and so it is. So now you know how to rewrite the scripts in your life, how to write a new script. And in the next session, we're going to go through the process of inquiry, and that involves 3 questionnaires that we're going to go through. We'll go through a general questionnaire, then we'll get more specific, and we will go through your motivations, and then we'll go through fear and change. And these are vital because you will find it uncovers things for you, and now you know how to rewrite the scripts. So that's it for this time. You've been listening to myself, Ahonu, from Aingeal Rose's book, The Book of Manifesting. We look forward to seeing you in the next session. Until then, blessings and bye-bye.
You have been listening to Aingeal Rose and Ahonu on World of Empowerment Radio, your station for practical spirituality in a changing world.